Okay, last formal question. What is God doing in this season of your life that you would like to share?
Kennerly used the word like thankful. I mean, maybe another way of saying is contentment. I feel like there's, we can be content in all seasons, right? But I think just, grateful for our boys who are quietly sitting over there. Grateful for our family, grateful for this, spiritual family. And so I think there is a real sense of contentment. And I think that is a gift. You can't manufacture that. And so grateful for that.
I think too the just God's perseverance and like steadfastness and staying with us. I think that truth has been something that I just have found really comforting recently, and just God's presence with us. I think is just an awareness of that. I feel like can come and go, and so I feel like in this season I've been aware of. God showing up exactly like when and where he needs to, and that's just a real deep encouragement.
That's great. Is there anything that's come to mind that you would want to say before we wrap up?
Well, since we are talking to you, but I do think there is a unique culture and nature to our community of coming and going. And I think it's been like a really helpful opportunity, like in an iron sharpening iron type good challenge of, it's like so often in the Old Testament, the people are described as tent and altar people of coming and going. And so I just have been really encouraged that I feel like there are like arrows being shot as people like move in and move out of San Diego and of Covenant. And so as much as that can be somewhat like a challenging nature, maybe to just thinking of our community as a whole, I think it's also just a wonderful gift of being able to see how people like you and Stuart like jump right into the community and the impact that you're able to have like so quickly. But then also just the gift of knowing that we have our family like spread out as well, and that those gifts then get brought to other local places where like the gospel is being shared. Is encouraging. So
I mean, there's a lot of people that have come and gone even in our short time here, but I think what you guys were saying about iron sharpening iron is important because we get to impact Covenant, but Covenant also really impacts us no matter where we go next. And then hopefully we come back, right? So it's like, the coming and going is a really, I think, unique aspect of Covenant where people come in and feel immediately welcome, and that's what gets people hooked right away. I mean, when we talk to people who are new to the church, they'll say, and this was our story, we intended to shop around, we intended to go to different places, and we came to Covenant once, and this is the church that we're part of 3 years later, right? So I think that's not true for families that move a lot. Like you prepare to have to find a community and a place to land that fits with your faith, and Covenant is just that for a lot of people like us. So, yeah.
I think in that vein too, we sometimes use the phrase like outpost of hope on the corner of Howard and 30th, and 1974, the folks moved from South Park to North Park and posted up here, and it's been our home here for 50 some years, and like just want to continue to like people are going to come and go, and we're going to send people, and that's great, but just to be an outpost of hope, to receive, preach hope, and send people in hope.
What are the values and pillars of leadership that you all that kind of guide you all with your roles at Covenant?
So the motto of our denomination, the churches that we're aligned with, the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, it says, in the essentials, unity, and the non-essentials, liberty, in all things, charity. And I think as much as that's a banner over all the churches that call the EPC home, I think it's what I want us to be as well. That we are united in the essential truths of that the life, the death, the resurrection of Jesus Christ is what saves us, redeems us, gives us hope. That one day Jesus is going to come back and make this world the way it's supposed to be. These are essential truths, and I want us as a community to be we're rooted in that. That's our foundation. but we also come from different backgrounds, different church traditions, and some things, culturally tradition might be different, and we can hold those things, but we can give each other liberty in that. But there just is a spirit of charity, of graciousness, that like we know what the essential things are. The things that are secondary, we're going to give each other charity and grace in that, and to help build each other up. And so yeah, I think at our best, in our leadership filtering down to the church, we can do that well. Yeah.
I would also add, just the image that comes to my mind is a shepherd, and obviously a biblical Psalm 23 image, but just the idea of it being kind of like a parent and like a caregiver and like a shepherd. There's a sense of responsibility, and I feel like that captures like the ethos of how we would want leadership to function, and how like the aim and the goal for it is a sacrificial, caring, shepherding, and defending, and like knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing good versus not good, like just making those like discerning things for a group of people can be challenging. But I think that's where the plurality of leaders is helpful, and having different perspectives and different voices speak into it, but all coming from a place of wanting to serve Christ and wanting His glory, letting that be kind of the end goal marker, I guess. But then, like, I think leadership just kind of naturally comes in a sense of taking responsibility for making that happen on behalf of others. So looking to the interest of others as well.
That's great.
Yeah, maybe just to add to that too, there's no perfect church government system or denomination, but a big reason we became Presbyterians, which comes from the Greek word for elder, or plurality of elders, is that it's not about Patrick and Kennerly. Like we're part of it, but we need a team, because we have some wisdom, but not all that the church needs, right? And so the gift is that we all get around the table, and kind of the mind of Christ and wisdom comes to the group. And it's not about being a CEO or coming down from the mountain with the vision, but it's us together doing it.
I did not know that that's where the word Presbyterian came from, so that's good knowledge. But using that as a springboard, so with the elders, what is your shared vision for the church moving forward from this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there might be, strategies here or there that emerge, but not to be a cop-out, but it's keep doing what the church has been called to do. I mean, we believe that, the story of the Bible, there's creation, there's fall, Jesus brought redemption. One day there's going to be restoration, and we're living and waiting for that. So we want to keep.
At Covenant Stories, the best stories are yet to come.